All right, hello everybody. We're back with a quick video here. I'm doing a speaker upgrade install. I'm upgrading the stock speakers on my Challenger. Let me real quick. 2022 RT, just white, nothing crazy. It is a manual. If you're into that, I'll show you. It is a manual. Gorgeous car, fun car. Bought it brand new. I've had a lot of fun times with it. But speaker upgrades. I have the non-anything speaker. I know some of you probably have an Alpine, and if you have a Harman Kardon, you're probably not even watching this, and if you are, I'm not sure why you are, because that's a pretty nice sound system from what I've heard. But this can be a quick little tutorial, things that my thoughts that I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube out there, and you should too. This is the only video you should watch when you're doing yours. But I do want to have some helpful tips. I do want to reiterate that may or may not be in other videos. So let's start front to back, and I've already kind of done some of it. I've already put some of it away, but the front dash, super easy. Take out the A-pillar. You can literally just pop this off with your hand. It's hard to show, but I guess I'll zoom in on that side. Right where that line is, put your fingers in there, pull it. There's gonna be a clip, undo the clip, comes right out. You're also gonna wanna get rid of these. Pop these off, same thing, just get a little flat head. You can even get your, if your fingernails are long enough, get in there and pop it off. And then when you take out the vent piece, which you can see better over here, you're gonna go ahead and wanna start from the middle where the daylight sensor is, and just kind of use your fingers, prop it all the way up. You're gonna need some force, but nothing crazy. If it's not coming around, just work with it, be patient, it'll come out eventually. After that, so front speaker, super easy. Undo that, nice Cummins, undo that. And those will be pretty self-explanatory, just 2 screws or bolts, pretty easy. Moving on to the doors, you're gonna have a screw in here, you're gonna have a screw in here, and you're gonna have 3 on the bottom. And after that, you could just pull the door off. You're gonna need some force, but it should come off. Oh, also forgot to mention this little clip right here as well. Don't forget that one. And then just pull, and it should come right off. Now I'm gonna get into kind of the complications I have that I didn't see in any other videos. I went with the Rockford Fosgate Punch series, I believe. If you're curious as to which ones I have, just drop me a comment, I'll get back to it. This is the only one I have left because I already done the front. I'm working on the rear right now. But quick question I'll address. When deciding what speakers to buy, honestly, man, I spent a lot of time trying to okay, I don't know which ones to buy. There's so many options. Don't overthink it. It's just speakers. Buy a brand you've heard good things from, or a brand you already like. If it's a good price for you and it fits your budget, go for it. Anything is gonna sound better than this paper garbage. This is literally paper. I've taken the mesh off. This is the rear stock speaker. It's also really tiny and lightweight. You can tell that this is all plastic. This is all plastic. This magnet is tiny. And like you can see on here, this is all paper. I'm pushing down on it and the whole thing just wants to deform. This one I destroyed a little bit just because I was curious, but this is gonna be your front one as well. Yeah, honestly, any speaker is gonna be better than that. If you have a Challenger with the base model, you may notice that at full volume, not even full volume, I'd say after about 26, 28 on the volume knob, you really notice a hard decline in performance. Your highs get kind of meh. Your bass kind of drops off, and everything just meshes together, and it's just not clear, good sound. And any upgrade is a must if you have a Challenger. Like they say, there's a lot of mods that you should always do on your Challenger: exhaust, tint, all that. Speakers is definitely on that list, unless you have one of the nicer sound systems, or you're not a big music person and you just listen to the radio and you don't mind it. Me personally, I always like to jam out when I'm driving around or going to work, etc. But so summing up that, don't overthink your speakers. If you want, go to your local audio shop or just shop around online, buy a brand that has a good price that you like, and that's all I'll say about that. So the dash speakers are very easy, very self-explanatory. A topic, if you want to spend the money on the adapters, you can. I don't think it's a bad move. I think they're about 10, 15 bucks for each set, I'll call it. The front speakers come with 2 harnesses. In the pack, if you buy the harness, I can drop the numbers in the comments if you're curious, but you can also find it online. It's pretty easy. These are gonna need 2 harnesses. So basically each pack of harnesses is gonna come with 2 wires. So let's say you buy the harness for the front speaker. It's gonna come with 1 harness for the left side, 1 harness for the right side. Same thing, left, right, left, right. I didn't order stuff online. I went to my audio shop, bought those. I hate waiting for orders. I'm impatient, so I'm just hardwiring everything. I'm decently handy, and I've done electrical work before on my vehicles. I have my big lifted truck over here for anybody that's curious. I've done a lot of custom work on that. So I mean, a little bit of custom work doesn't scare me. But if you don't want to mess with it, go ahead and spend the extra 30, 40 bucks on the harnesses. You can order them online pretty easily, and that'll just make your job a whole lot easier. Because basically what it is it takes these kind of plugins that Dodge uses from the factory, these little black ones right here, and it turns them into little spade connectors that you can then, let me readjust, you can then just plug into there and it's done. You don't have to do any wiring. Now, the doors, this speaker is not directly attached to the metal door. This attaches to a black plastic bracket. If you've torn into your door, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't know if I didn't see this in any videos. I did see the bracket, but I didn't see anybody have to custom modify them. I don't know if my speakers are just too big, but there's a black plastic bracket. And once you take these off, I went to go and put my upgraded 6x9s on there, which sound great. I've already tested the front. I put those in yesterday, drove around last night. Now I'm just getting back to these because it got dark, and I know these would take a little bit longer. But my speaker's not fitting the black plastic bracket, so there's kind of like a, I guess if I can hold it, keep it standing, we'll do that, I guess. No, not gonna work. It's not gonna let me. Well, I guess I'll just have to kind of hold it like this, I guess, or maybe I can just rest it kind of like that. No. Oh, I guess, that kind of almost worked. Let's see here. Okay, whatever. My speaker, all this extra framing, I guess I'll call it. There's probably an actual term for this. I'm not a big audio guy. I know enough to be able to do it, but I don't know a crazy amount. But this was too bulky on my upgraded speaker, so I had to do some modifications to the bracket. Had to cut some plastic out. It's not too daunting. Just make sure it doesn't hit your window if you're installing bigger speakers. Once you get them in, just be gentle about it and kind of be cautious with what you're doing. But overall, you should be okay. I did have to do that, and I didn't see that in any videos. Now, the rear is what I'm really making this video for. I've seen a lot of videos. It is known that a lot of speakers you're going to be buying don't come with the correct brackets, because if you can see here, this is the stock rear speaker. If I take this 6.5, you'll notice this little, ignore the screws, I'll explain that in a second, but this is actually smaller than this. So when you go to put it in the hole, your speaker will not line up to the bolt holes that are factory. That's what these little, like, I guess, triangle screw patterns is for. So this is what holds it down to the car. But on most aftermarket speakers, they are not that big. Like, the distance from the edge of, this is the actual speaker. I've custom made this, and I'll explain a little bit more. This is not big enough. So what I went ahead and did, again, if you're not handy and you're looking for the easiest job, buy some speakers. Make sure you buy the right adapters. They sell adapters that they will take your normal standard aftermarket 6.5 speaker to where it fits in those bigger 3 holes. I don't know why Dodge did that. I don't know why they can just use standardized 6.5 holes. I mean, even this speaker has different holes for different vehicles, but it still doesn't work with Dodge. So what I went ahead and did is, this plastic, so this outer bigger ring where it all bolts into is all part of the speaker. So what I went ahead and did is I took some snips, some pliers. You could definitely do a cleaner job if you have the tools for it, but I just used some sharp pliers, and I actually cut all these, I guess we'll call it the framing off. I cut that, all that. I then took this mesh off, which I could do real quick to get the video, my point across. I can't really do that right now. But it's gonna look like this. And what I did is I cut the, like, rubber slash whatever they use on the edge, cut it all out, and the whole speaker kind of fell out. Once you take away the framing and you detach it from this outer plastic ring, which is what I want to keep, which you'll notice the plastic ring on this aftermarket one is the same as this. So let me flip it upside down for you too. You can see where I cut. You can see all the little, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see that cut, that cut, that cut, and that cut, and that one. It's gonna be the same as this. I didn't see anybody do it. I'm getting kind of creative. It's not the cleanest job in the world, but I went ahead and cut that, made sure my speaker will fit into that hole because it fits almost perfectly. It fits slightly at an angle, but that's not too big of a problem. I had just had some drywall screws laying around. I mean, call me what you want. Oh, he's using drywall screw. Dude, you just need something that'll hold the speaker to the plastic. So when you install this, the speaker isn't rattling within the plastic adapter, or I guess we'll call it plastic molding that's attached to the car. So I just drilled it, took a screw, cut the screw down to size so it wouldn't really get in the way. It's a little too long, but it'll work. This side, I believe, is a little cleaner. Yeah, it's about the same length. There's the screw. It's about the same length. And this actually works pretty well. My tweeters are also angled in my speaker, so I made sure and kind of lined it up. The speaker would ideally sit like this. This is the passenger side corner. So when I mount the speaker, it's going to sit like this. My tweeter is going to be angled that way towards the middle of / the front of the car, to where your ears are going to be. So that's always good. And yeah, I mean, it's honestly not too difficult. That is the tricky part. If you want to buy the adapters, you can. If you want to do what I did, which I think is going to work great, obviously not super pretty, but I mean, I dismantled the stock speaker. I mean, I'm making good use out of this. I guess we'll call it recycling. And I think it's going to work pretty well. I think these screws will hold up. The speaker's going to be able to move and do its thing, and it's not really going to rattle or anything, so I'm not too worried about that. And then I could just use the normal bolt holes that come in there. So real quick, let's get into how to take this apart for you guys. So obviously you're going to want to fold your seats down. That's step number one. I think that's pretty obvious. Then you're going to have a little snap clip right here, and you're going to have another clip right here. Same thing on that side. You'll see it. It's only going to be like two little plastic domes. I know it looks a little weird taken apart, so if you're trying to take yours apart, it might be a little challenging, but there's plenty of other videos that explain it a little bit better if you need more visual help. And the other thing too, you're going to want to take this C-pillar off. You can just get your fingers kind of up in this little groove, pull it. There's going to be two clips. Make sure you undo them, and the whole thing will just come out. Mine's laying right there. And after that, I mean, you're going to want to shimmy this big, I don't know what you'd call this, whatever you call that, that's sitting obviously on your rear deck. You're going to want to shimmy it out. You can take this off if you're above and beyond extra A+ student. I am not, so I just kind of wiggled it out. Some videos you may see you need to take out both. I just took out one because I saw one guy, he only took out one, he was able to squeeze it out, so I did that. And yeah, you're going to have to do some finicking and playing with it and pushing it back and forth, but it will eventually come out. And yeah, that's about it. You got 3 bolts. I believe they're 7mm for the speakers, but if I'm incorrect, you could just obviously figure it out yourself. But yeah, I think that's all I have on the challenges and trials and tribulations that I came across with my install. I hope some of this helped. Like I said, the front dash is super easy. Doors are relatively simple. If it's your first time taking off a door panel, it might be a little bit more challenging. And then the rear deck obviously is, I mean, it's taking me a little bit of custom work, but I'm somewhat handy, but I'm no machinist or fabricator or anything, and I was able to get it to work. Just 2 screws to hold it down, and I'm just going to bolt that in. And there are plenty of steps you can make this go easier: by the harness, by the correct speakers / adapters, and that can make your life easier. But yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying this upgrade. If you're on the fence about upgrading your Challenger's speakers at all, just go ahead and do it. You're gonna love it, because these stock speakers are it's kind of sad that they sell you a brand new car with this kind of garbage in the audio system. But hey, it is what it is. I wanted a manual, and I couldn't really get a premium sound system with a manual, so I'm gonna just spend extra money after to get the better sound. FYI, for price, for anybody that's curious, those are about $100. The door speakers were about $120. And the front dash speakers I got for free from a buddy who hadn't used them. They were brand new in the box. He couldn't use them. And those were And roughly for 3.5-inch front speakers, those are roughly going to run you anywhere between 40 and 70 bucks. Depends where you get them. But yeah, so I mean, in total, I'm roughly 300, 400 bucks in. If you buy the harnesses in the after, a little bit, but we'll round up for about, at most, $500, depending on how nice the speakers you get. You can seriously improve the sound system of your car. It's worth it. So I hope that helps you out a little bit if you're on your searching and researching on how to install them, if you're gonna install them yourself. These are the kind of things I ran into. But yeah, good luck on upgrading your speakers, and I'm gonna go finish this and enjoy some kick-ass sound. Take it easy, guys.